So here we are as promised. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to do a review today on the Beast camera arm. And as you can see, I got the other two camera arms that I have up. This is the JR Jeremy Riggins Outdoors camera arm. And I've done a review on that. You can check that out in the card section up here in the top left if you want to watch a review I did on this. Great camera arm. This has been my main camera arm for a couple years. Then a year or so ago, I bought, actually my brother bought it for me for my birthday, the fourth Arrow camera arm. It's a satellite. It's specifically for saddle hunting, and I used it some, not a ton, to be honest with you. I don't saddle hunt now. I use the Beast stand, and so great camera arm, and I'll probably actually do a review on that. But I would say it's not necessarily the best camera arm for if you're using a stand or stand hunting, because it's kind of shorter. It's specifically for saddle hunting, and you're running it between your body and the tree trunk, and so it's a little smaller, as you can see, and I'll get some measurements on it compared to these as well, as far as how far it comes out. But awesome camera arm, very sturdy, and like I said, I'll probably do a review on that. Today's not really the purpose of that, but I did get them all three out here because I just kind of wanted to look at all three of them as comparison. But this really is the camera arm that I'm interested in today and want to do the review on. And the first thing I would really say is, as far as setup goes, it's as easy as can be. It's a strap that goes around the tree, and you just cinch it tight, and then you screw in the bolt on the top, and what that does is that tightens it as it pulls the camera arm down. It tightens it, pulls it out, tightens it to the tree, and it makes it real tight. I mean, that's not going anywhere. And so the thing that I do like about it, I mentioned this in the video when I unboxed it, is the bolt that goes into the tree. It has a nut on the end that's rounded, so it's not digging into the tree a ton. I mean, it's going to push into the tree some, for sure, you have to, but it's not real pointy, and so it doesn't dig into the tree as far as some of the other ones. Like this one kind of has a pointy bolt, so as you screw it, you're trying to get it to come down, it digs into the tree a little bit. I would like to see maybe something, a flat washer or something that just kind of actually pushes against the tree, pulls it down, not really digs in. This one tends to do it a little bit less, and so I like that kind of a little bit more, I would say. But it's got the Versa button here that's actually attached. It's cut into this. It's not bolted on. It's actually cut into it, and that's where you strap it. But it's secure to the tree. The biggest question, I think, or at least one of the biggest questions that I think people have, is how does the camera move when it's on here, in this arm? So you're videoing something and you let go, what happens? And I would say that, and I'll show some video footage of me doing it, it definitely moves some. I would say, honestly, of the three, from my experience, the fourth Arrow moves the least. When you do that, when you stop, it tends to stop pretty solid. Any camera arm that extends out like this, and you're videoing with and you're moving, you're going to get some movement. Now, the reason I don't think it's a big deal, and if you're videoing professionally, it probably is, maybe. But for somebody like me who's a mobile hunter, first of all, I'm not trying to get top of the line video footage, the best ever. But the other reason that it's just not a big deal for me is because when I'm hunting, usually I've got my bow here, and this would be actually set up lower if I was actually hunting. But when I'm set up here like this, and I'm videoing, I'm holding this the whole time. So as the deer's coming in or whatever, I'm holding this camera, and it didn't matter which one it's on, whether it was this one and this is actually about the height that I would have the camera, but I'm holding this the whole time. So it's not just sitting there. I'm not going like this or bumping it or whatever. I'm holding it like this, and so I'm moving it, and when I'm moving it, of course, if I stop, it stops. So the last thing I'm doing, and everybody who hunts knows, you're not sitting there making fast movements, and then letting go. You're moving slowly, following the deer, and then when you go, you stop and you let off. And will you get a little bit of movement when you do that? Probably a tiny little bit, but nobody's really looking at the movement of the camera at that point. You're looking at the deer, and you're waiting for the shot, whatever. So for mobile hunters, I see literally no issue with the fact that you do get a little bit of movement. But again, what kind of hunter is actually bumping it You're just not doing that. So for me, I don't even care that it moves a little bit, and it's not much, but even the fact that it does a little bit doesn't really bother me because my hand's controlling it the whole time, and then when I stop, you know, it's going to be still because I'm letting off. So that is a big question that people have on it, and again, I think any camera arm, even this one does it some, but I think any camera arm you get, it's going to move a little bit if you're moving it and let it go real fast. I just don't do that. So that's not a problem for me. One of the other things that I've seen some people complain about, and I'm not saying it's not a legit complaint, doesn't seem to bother me that much, but and I'll get to why in a second, but the JR camera and the fourth Aero camera has a level in it. So you put it in the tree, you can sit there and you can level it. This here, now obviously the tree's fairly straight, so it's going to be fairly easy. The Beast arm does not have a level. Now you can get some, and you can just stick it on top, and then you can have your level if it's that important to you. To me, as a construction worker, I can get it relatively level, in my opinion, without without having to have a built-in level on it. So I don't foresee myself getting a little level bubble. I probably will just leave it as is and use it. But if that's a huge ordeal to you, then you're gonna either want to get a different camera arm, or you're gonna want to get a little bubble to put it on top of that. What I was saying was, these two, JR camera arm and the fourth Aero, have bubbles for leveling. This doesn't. And the point that I wanted to make about that is, this camera here, the Beast arm, was $190, I believe, plus tax, shipping. These, I don't know exactly how much he sells them for, because this is actually an older model. He's got some newer ones, and they even look cooler, although this one is pretty cool still. But I believe he's asking around over $200 for it, and I'm assuming you'd have to pay for shipping as well. This one, my brother bought for me for my birthday for $250. So for an extra $60, you could get something with a bubble in it. But a cheaper option for $5 is put a bubble on top of this. So again, it's a matter of how important it is to you. To me, it's just not that important, and I can kind of get an idea how I'm standing on the tree. I'm going to go up a tree where I'm going to be standing kind of level, and if I have to adjust my stand, I'm going to be standing fairly level myself. So all I have to do is kind of level my camera arm based on how I'm standing. It's a nice feature, and if it's a must for you, then you're going to have to figure out what to do for that. For me, it's just not. So anyway, I want to get some measurements on it, and on all three of these for that matter. But this one, I believe, is 28 to the end of the, off the tree is 28 to the end of the, 28 and a quarter off the tree to the end of the arm. Whereas this one's 30, which is almost 2 more inches. This guy, I believe, is not quite 26. About 25 and 5/8 to be exact. And so yeah, again, this is kind of a saddle arm that's it's shorter, and you would think 2 inches isn't that big of a deal, but honestly I felt like it was for me, especially when I was, I'm right-handed, so I'm holding my bow with my left hand, and so I'm sitting up so my shots are right here. Well, if you have your camera arm here to the tree, getting around here like this, believe it or not, 2 inches makes a big deal. This, of course, is 30 inches, so that's even, if you're shooting here, that's even more helpful to not have to work the camera arm around you and get it. So 28 inches, I think it's gonna make more of a difference than this. Which, by the way, if you're interested, I am going to be selling the fourth Aero camera arm because I don't need it. One of these or both of them, I'll be using them both interchangeably throughout the season this coming year, and so I don't need a third one. Got to recoup the money that I spent on this. So anyway, so yeah, having a little bit longer arm helps me specifically when the deer's moving from my right to my left, and I've got to come around here, and I can just move the camera arm around. So you're not trying to move as much, and to have to work it behind you, not the greatest idea. like I said, holds really nice and tight to the tree. That's not going anywhere, and I think it's a great arm. Again, you know, you have to quantify what you're using it for. And for somebody like me who's not, you know, I'm not some professional camera person. I mean, my cameras, this is probably $1,000 camera. I don't even know. It was given to me by my brother. But, you know, this isn't a super expensive camera. So I'm not putting out, you know, 5K quality stuff that's, you know, the amount of time people spend on editing. I want to get something worth watching, something enjoyable. But I'm not trying to outduel really anybody. It's just, these are videos that I do but for enjoyment and for my experiences, and if people want to watch them and enjoy them themselves, that's great. So for me, I don't need something, any of these are perfectly fine. And from my perspective, this is absolutely worth $190, and I think I paid $211 total, tax, shipping, everything out the door. I think I paid $211. And I will say this, it has a 1/4 20 bolt. So my small rig, I had a 3/8 in my small rig. It came with a 1/4 20 insert. Of course I lost it, so I ordered 3 more from CH Small Rig, and then I ordered 2 off of Amazon. So I've got 4 of them sitting around now. I should never have an issue again. But this does have a 1/4 20 bolt that you may need an adapter for your fluid head. The bolts here, you know, like right now it's a little stiff. I probably will mess with that some. As you notice, this guy is definitely looser because I actually fiddled around with it maybe too much. I might have to change out the washers, but I fiddled around with it, got it, you know, looser, too loose. Honestly, I really kind of need to tighten it up some. But this guy, you can take these the bolts and the nut, and you can kind of loosen it a little bit to, you know, if you want to get it a little less stiff, which I'll probably do. But the Beast standoff actually turns and goes flat, and I showed you in the unboxing that literally when it's flat, actually I'll measure it right now and get an exact. It is 5/8 of an inch thick, so it's really thin, but it doesn't feel flimsy by any stretch. It's thin, but it's solid, and it's light. I can't find my weight scale, so you're just gonna have to take what they said. I'm sure they're accurate as far as what the weight is. It's, I think, like 1 pound 15 ounces or something like that. Super light, and I can't wait to use it in a hunting situation, to be honest with you. I'm gonna mess around with it all summer, but it's pretty basic. You know, when you use all these different kind of camera arms, it's pretty basic, and it's not real difficult to you know, to figure out. So I wanted to jump in here and actually talk about one of the things on this camera that I forgot, which is one of the things I like the most about this camera, and that is this little hook down here for hanging backpacks, or you can hang all sorts of stuff, but for me it would be my backpack. Last year, using a JR camera, I actually just took a carabiner on here and I would just hook it up to this strap right here, and it worked great, no issues. But this guy here has one that's built into it, and you can just hang your backpack right there. And for me, the way I hunt, with my camera always to my right, because I'm holding my bow with my left, I've got the camera with my right and I'm guiding it. It's nice to be able to just kind of turn and access your stuff all right here, and really convenient. I will say this, my bigger backpack that I use mostly for ground hunting, the loop there is a little bit bigger and doesn't sit down inside this because it's not real, you know, it's not real wide. So it might have a smaller loop like this one does. You know, you can see that has kind of a small loop that just fits right inside there real nice. And even this guy that I taped with electrical tape, it'll fit inside there. But something that's a little thicker and bigger might not sit down inside there because it's kind of thin. But for me, I think that's a fantastic addition to the camera arm. It's convenient and doesn't affect the arm in any way, and it's still out of your way. You know, it's not in my way, and I can do whatever I need to do with the camera arm. So just kind of wanted to interrupt the programming to bring that to you, because I can't believe I forgot it. I think that's an awesome addition to this camera arm, and I will use that literally every time I hunt. I guarantee you I will use that little hook there for hanging my stuff off of. So anyway, just wanted to mention that real quick. This one comes in the I can't even say the word, I'll post it on the screen, but it comes, you know, black, which is nice, and it's a very compact, nice camera arm. I'll actually post a link to the camera arm and the Beast Gear. Obviously, I'm not an affiliate. I'm not getting anything for it. Just it's an easy click if you're really interested in it. So I'll put it in the description below. But great camera arm, and pretty much anything, honestly, that, in my opinion, that the Beast makes is good quality. And whether it's the sticks, the stand, and the camera arm. I don't have the sticks, but I do have the stand, and it's I would say significantly more enjoyable to hunt from his stand than it is from the saddle. That's just my opinion. And I know the saddle hunters probably hate me for that, but I did hunt with a saddle. Just I like the stand. Hopefully that's helpful. If you're in the camera market for a camera arm, I would say definitely take a look at this one as well. Check it out. And thanks for watching. And we'll see you in the next video.